Welcome to this video, where we explore the power of storytelling in learning English. Today, we will dive into a popular folk tale, The Clever Rabbit and the Cunning Fox. Stories are a fantastic way to improve language skills, as they provide context for vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation while also being engaging and enjoyable. We will begin by narrating the story, then break it down from a technical and literary perspective to help English learners understand its structure, language, and deeper meanings. The Clever Rabbit and the Cunning Fox. Once upon a time, in a vast green forest, there lived a clever rabbit named Theo. Theo was small but quick-witted, and all the animals admired his intelligence. However, there was also a cunning fox named Felix, who was always trying to catch Theo for a meal. One day, Felix saw Theo hopping near a riverbank and decided to trick him. "Dear Theo," Felix said sweetly, "I have found a secret garden full of the most delicious carrots. Let me take you there." Theo knew Felix was not to be trusted, so he thought for a moment and replied, "That sounds wonderful. But I must fetch my friend, the wise old owl, so we can all enjoy the feast together." Felix hesitated. He knew the owl was too clever to be deceived. "Oh no, the garden is only for rabbits. Hurry, before the carrots disappear." Theo smiled. "In that case, let's race to the garden. You run on the path, and I'll swim across the river. We'll see who gets there first." Felix, eager to win, agreed and sprinted away. But Theo simply watched from the riverbank as Felix ran deeper into the woods, searching for the imaginary garden. Then, with a quick hop, Theo disappeared into his burrow, safe and sound. The animals of the forest laughed when they heard the story, and from that day on, Theo was known as the cleverest animal in the woods. Technical and literary analysis. 1. Structure and plot. This folk story follows a classic narrative structure, exposition. The story introduces Theo, the protagonist, and Felix, the antagonist, establishing their roles and motivations. Rising action. Felix attempts to deceive Theo with an offer of a hidden garden. Climax. Theo outsmarts Felix by proposing a race and avoiding danger. Resolution. Theo escapes safely, and his cleverness is acknowledged by the forest animals. The simple structure helps English learners follow the sequence of events and understand cause and effect relationships in storytelling. 2. Language and vocabulary. Descriptive adjectives. Words like vast green forest, clever rabbit, and cunning fox help learners expand their vocabulary. Dialogue. The story includes direct speech, demonstrating conversational English and common expressions like, "That sounds wonderful," and "Hurry, before the carrots disappear." Idiomatic expressions. Phrases such as "safe" and "sound" introduce natural English expressions in context. 3. Literary devices. Personification. The animals talk and think like humans, making the story engaging and relatable. Foreshadowing. Theo's initial distrust hints at the trickery to come, helping learners identify subtle storytelling techniques. Irony. Felix, despite being cunning, is fooled by Theo's intelligence, reinforcing the moral that wit can overcome deceit. How stories help English learners. Listening and pronunciation. Reading aloud or listening to folk stories improves pronunciation and rhythm in spoken English. Exposure to natural sentence structures aids in fluency and comprehension. Grammar in context. Learners see verb tenses, sentence construction, and punctuation used naturally, reinforcing grammatical rules without rote memorization. Cultural understanding. Folk stories often carry universal morals, helping learners connect language learning with cultural and ethical lessons. Memory and retention. Stories are easier to remember than isolated vocabulary words or grammar rules, making learning more effective and enjoyable. Folk tales have distinct features that make them engaging and timeless. Through The Clever Rabbit and the Cunning Fox, we can identify the following characteristics. Moral lesson. The story teaches that intelligence and quick thinking can overcome cunning and strength. Folk tales often carry a lesson for the audience. Animal characters with human traits. The rabbit and the fox act and think like humans, which is a common feature in folk tales. They communicate, strategize, and display emotions. Good versus evil. The rabbit represents cleverness and goodness, while the fox symbolizes trickery and deception. Many folk tales present a conflict between these forces. Simple and entertaining plot. The story follows a clear and engaging structure, making it easy to understand and enjoyable for all ages. Oral tradition. Like most folk tales, this story has likely been passed down through generations by word of mouth, preserving cultural wisdom. Use of trickery or wit. Instead of physical strength, the protagonist, the rabbit, uses intelligence to escape from danger, which is a recurring theme in folk tales. Happy ending. Folk tales often conclude on a positive note, reinforcing the idea that goodness and wisdom triumph over evil. These features make The Clever Rabbit and the Cunning Fox a classic folk tale that continues to teach and entertain readers. Conclusion. The moral of The Clever Rabbit and the Cunning Fox is, intelligence and quick thinking can overcome strength and cunning. It teaches us that wisdom and presence of mind are often more powerful than brute force or deceit. This simple folk tale demonstrates how storytelling can enhance English learning by providing structured language input, engaging content, and cultural insights. By reading and listening to such tales, learners can improve their vocabulary, comprehension, and overall fluency in an enjoyable way.